Let me ask you something. You ever felt like the world quietly decided you were past your prime? They don't say it outright, but you feel it. When the younger guys at work stop asking for your input. When the doctor starts talking more about managing decline instead of building strength. When the women who once noticed you now walk by without a glance. It stings. And most men swallow that bitterness in silence because we're told that's just how it is. But here's the truth. You're not done. You're just becoming dangerous. Why? Because now you've lived. You've got scars, stories, wisdom, and, most of all, no time left to waste. This isn't another feel-good pep talk. This is a call to arms. Not to fight the world, but to rise into your final form. Because while society worships youth, Stoicism whispers a deeper truth. As you age, your calm must grow heavier, your presence more unshakable. This is your time not to fade away quietly, but to walk like a mountain. And in this video, we're going to talk about how you ever notice how younger men chase everything? Okay, money, approval, fast success, loud validation. It looks like ambition, but most of the time, it's just noise. See, there comes a point in a man's life, usually after 50, when he finally gets it. Real power isn't in the chase, it's in the pause. It's in stillness. Now, I'm not talking about sitting still and doing nothing. I'm talking about the kind of stillness that comes from knowing what matters. And more importantly, what doesn't. You stop leaking energy, trying to fix everyone. Stop needing to be liked. You start moving from reaction, to presence. Think of the old lion. He doesn't run, he watches, he waits, because he knows exactly when to strike hand. More importantly, when to remain silent. That's what true maturity looks like. And here's the twist. Women feel it too. They sense when a man has survived his storms and didn't flinch. Stillness isn't emptiness, It's gravity. And the older you get, the more it pulls the world in. At some point, every man faces a choice. Shrink to fit the modern world. Core, stand tall and let the world adjust. You don't need to apologize for being strong. You don't need to soften your voice or bend your spine to make others feel comfortable. That quiet strength, not outdated, it's rare. And anything rare is valuable. We live in a time where masculinity is constantly questioned. You're told to tone it down, be more agreeable, more palatable. But what if the world doesn't need more agreeable men? What if what it really needs is grounded, solid, unshakable presence? You don't have to yell. You don't have to dominate a room. You could just be the man who speaks with purpose, sits with intention, and holds eye contact like nothing in him flinches. That's not toxic. That's not aggressive. That's what real masculinity looks like when it stops asking for permission. So sit wide, speak slow, stand firm. You're not too much. You're exactly what this softening world forgot it needed. They say men peak in their 30s. But let me ask you, who came up with that rule? Your real prime doesn't arrive on a birthday. It begins the moment you decide to master yourself. Discipline isn't some boot camp routine. It's not barking orders at the mirror. It's dignity. It's how you treat your body, your mind, your time like they matter. Wake up and move. Not for six-pack abs, but because your joints, your heart, your future depend on it. Eat like someone who wants to live longer, not just survive. Start your mornings in stillness. Journal, walk. Take that cold shower, not to be trendy, because it reminds you that you're in control. And be honest, how much mental space are you renting out to cheap dopamine, to scrolling, outrage, noise? Claim that real estate, because now every action echoes. You're not just living, you're building a blueprint that younger men will either follow or have to fix at a certain point, usually after. Yet do you realize the game has changed? You're not interested in chasing anymore. The endless proving, the flashy gestures, the trying to impress, it's exhausting. What you want now is connection, not a performance. You want to be met, not measured. And here's the paradox. The moment you stop chasing women, it's the moment you start attracting them. But not the ones looking for status or a sugar fix. I'm talking about the rare kind, the one who sees your quiet power and leans in. That kind of presence only shows up when you're full on the inside. When you no longer need attention to feel valuable. You don't need to dress like you're 25 to matter. Own your age, own the gray. Speak from your chestnut, your ego. The most magnetic thing about a man over 50. He already knows he's enough. And that kind of confidence can't be faked. There's this lie that the final chapter of your life is about slowing down. But what if this chapter is where it all finally matters? K's, not in titles, not in bank accounts, but in the way you show up when no one's watching. Legacy isn't built on what you had. It's built on who you were when no one asked you to be anything. Who did you teach? What did you protect? What did you hold the line when it would have been easier to fold? See, real legacy isn't carved into tombstones. It's whispered in conversations years after you're gone. It's in a young man who says, he's the one who showed me how to be a man. So the question becomes, are you living in a way that makes that story possible? Because you're not done. You're in the season of impact. It's the age where your calm cuts deeper than noise and your presence leaves a mark. Don't aim to be remembered for what you owned. Be remembered for how people changed just by knowing you. So let's be clear. You're not fading. You're not forgotten. You're entering the most powerful chapter of your life. Because the truth is, your calm speaks louder than noise. Your presence, without saying a word, carries more weight than any flash or flex. This world doesn't need more noise. It needs men who walk with purpose. It's men who've been through the fire and no longer seek applause, because they've already proven it to themselves. And if any part of this spoke to you with something in your bones whispered, this is me. Drop a comment below and write, I'm not done, cause you're not. This isn't the end. It's the era of legacy, presence, and quiet power. If you're ready to step into that, fully subscribe. Not for me, but for every man who needs to remember. Age doesn't weaken you, it sharpens you.